Today, I want to talk about things to know or think about before getting into a relationship. I mean a serious relationship. So if you're wanting to marry this person, these are things to consider. You should have some sense of self-improvement before getting into it. Now, I'm not saying that you got to have everything figured out. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have to have been able to work on yourself and have been able to be at a point where you feel like, okay, I have learned a lot and I've been improving a lot of self-discovery. I was like, oh, I'm gonna learn so much about my partner. I'm gonna learn a lot about him and who he is and all of this, and we're gonna live together and we're gonna be one, right? A lot of it is honestly self-discovery, knowing all of your flaws. And I feel like I've always been very great in relationships, but then when I got into an actual romantic relationship, I found myself actually seeing a lot of things that I still needed to work on. He's my first boyfriend. I got attached. I had some separation anxiety, so anytime he left, I felt sad and it was hard. So I think a tip to know is knowing to have your own stuff going on the side. Like, for example, I was going to school, I was hanging out with my friends. Like, don't lose those parts of yourself because that can be detrimental to your health, your mental health, your relationships with your partner. Make sure that you still make time for your hobbies, for your likes, for your school, your career, your dreams, to have time for those things as well as have time with your partner. But like, balance the two and learn to put boundaries with letting him know immediately. Like, hey, these are things that I like to do, or people who I love to hang out with and spend time with as well. Like, my family is important to me, my friends as well, making that clear and communicating that, which leads me to my next one, which is learning to be open and honest, communicating all of that, being an open book with your partner and letting them know exactly what you're feeling, because you don't want to hide things that, even though they're embarrassing, you might think this is too much. You have to be able to communicate your feelings in a healthy way, letting them know like, hey, this made me feel this way. And always using the word of I feel, this made me feel, not you caused this, you made me, knowing also immediately right away not to waste your time with somebody that's not being open either and not willing to work with you. So if they're willing to work with you, that is a good sign. In relationships, it's just a huge thing is making sure that you always keep an open mind with both sides. That way they feel comfortable and safe when they have something to say to you and not feeling like they have to hide. And I'm going to get to my next one, which is making it clear that you two are serious. I think that should be the first one, actually. What your intentions are, that if it is getting married, that you make it clear. There shouldn't be a difference from being boyfriend, girlfriend to a married couple. We treat each other the same. He treats me like I'm his wife, and that's just how it always has been, which I've always thought I love to love fully. Like, I'm all in or nothing. There's just no in between. At least I know that I got to love and enjoy my relationship to its 100%, not 75, because I think you should love your partner as much as they love you. It should be the same. It should feel on both ends the same. If it doesn't, what are you doing? Get out of there. Find someone who will make you feel like you're loved and you're appreciated every day. If you're feeling like that's a sign that it's probably not meant to be. You'll find someone. Until then, you gotta wait, which leads me to my next one. Wait. Don't rush into relationships that are not meant for you. If that person is just not it, or they're not ready, move on. You don't need to stick around to see if that person's gonna be, that they're gonna eventually see you as a potential partner. Don't wait on those kind of people. Don't rush with those kind of people. Wait until you find somebody that's truly gonna go and find you and be open with you. And I've seen so many comments on like TikTok, YouTube, on relationship videos, but I've seen comments where they're like, I'm so old, I'm 20 and I still haven't been in a relationship. Or I'm 20 and I'm just like, girl, you're so young. There is nothing wrong with that. And I just want to make sure that anybody who's watching this, there is nothing wrong. And if you don't feel it with you, you're not ready, don't rush it. Don't put yourself in a situation you're going to regret later, or be with somebody that you're going to regret being with later. I always thought when I was growing up and I was 21, I was like, man, every one of my friends have already done the deed, and I'm just like feeling kind of pressured. I'm like, is there something wrong with me? And I start questioning myself. myself. Like, is it me? Am I not good enough? Am I not attractive? But no, I'm here to tell you, you're not the problem. Wait until you find the one person that's going to care and respect you, and wait for you. They have to show you and prove to you with action, not just words, but actions as well, that they will be there for you through thick and thin and love you wholeheartedly. Not what's going on the outside, but what's going on in here and in here. All of that, all of you. It's just something that I feel like it's crazy to still see at this time, where I see 24-year-olds, 21-year-olds, even 19-year-olds. I'm like, no, you're normal. That's perfectly normal. I've had friends and people that I've known that gone into relationships they regret so bad. They wish that they have waited for somebody who loved them, who truly loved them. So not everyone is literally having, in the first episode of the season. No, that's so American movie. No. If you're a fan of Korean dramas, you get my drift. I love Korean dramas because it's the slow burn. If you're that kind of person that loves like slow burns, that likes the pure, innocent kind of love, that's my cup of tea. Me and my boyfriend love watching them. We both kick our feet and we both talk about it. We're like, we just love Korean dramas because they're so lighthearted, so pure. For the girls who don't, it's okay to be emotional. It's totally fine. I feel like so many of us growing up told you, do not be emotional, that you're being too dramatic or you're doing too much. If you feel it, let it be. Let it go through you and be vulnerable with your partner. Be yourself. Be completely, honestly yourself, so they see you for who you are. And if they're meant to be with you, they will stick around. If they do not and they leave, that wasn't meant for you. Okay? Give yourself a hug. Take yourself to dates. Show yourself how you want to be loved, and that love will find you. I wanted to talk about that since Valentine's Day is coming up. Think about these things before you get into a relationship, before you show your feelings. Hopefully you get into a great, successful relationship. I feel like more girls should know, and guys, if you are watching, should know about this stuff. Some of these things are not talked about enough, or maybe they are. I just don't know. I always found them so fun and interesting, so I just wanted to do my own spin and my own kind of take on this whole topic. I hope you had fun watching it. If you disagreed, that's totally okay too. I don't mind because we're all different and we all have different perspectives. Maybe having a Galentine's Day, those looks like so much fun. Honestly, sometimes I'm like, I wish I was invited to one. And if you're not that kind of person, you're a homebody like I am, and you just like to lay on the couch and watch your favorite K-drama and cry for the next 4 hours until you fall asleep, that's fine too. I did that 5 years ago. To all the boys I've loved, I watched the second movie and I was just crying my eyeballs out. My dad came knocking on my door and the lights were off. It was just playing on my laptop. That's when you know it's serious. It was playing on my laptop and my dad saw me crying and he came in, he knocked on the door. He's like, "What are you doing? Why are you crying?" And I was like, I'm telling you, I was there. Maybe I'm just not pretty enough. No one loves me. I'll never find the one. And he was just like seeing me sob and he was like, "Here." And he brought me flowers. He's like, "You'll never go a day without being loved because you have me, you have your family who loves you. And if there's no man that's yet to come, I will still bring you flowers until the day he comes in your life." And now my boyfriend buys my mom flowers whenever he gets the chance and he sees her. So I think that's kind of sweet. And buy yourself flowers. Who cares? Tells you not to. And that's all I wanted to talk about with you girlies. But don't worry, like, it's gonna happen. And when it does happen, I hope these tips have helped you, or that you think about these things before getting into a relationship.